And we're live.
Yeah, that's what. Do you wake up with like soreness, or did you before you started using a mouth thing where like you'd wake up and your jaws would just like click or be tight or anything?
No, that's not a thing. I think someone's doing something to you when you're sleeping.
That might be the case because there are a lot of homeless people around me. And sometimes I don't lock my door because I forget.
That's the problem.
Anyone could shamble in and
mouth fuck you in your sleep.
Mouth. You know what? There is no more dangerous place for a penis than my mouth while I'm sleeping.
Here's an important test. Before you use that, because of all the aggressive grinding, I get.
Oh,
that.
you're not getting even a little bit of your dick back, sir. Like,
but here's how you know, though. Before you use that great mouthwash in the morning when you wake up, does your mouth also smell like homeless penis?
Well, it's a little bleachy, but I don't.
There you go.
I'm not
there you
sure.
go.
I have to know.
Bleachy.
Yeah,
I feel
Is
like
there
I just
loose
learned
change?
something about Taylor.
Yeah.
You ever spit out pennies? Ever dimes coming out your mouth when you wake up?
Little metallic. Yeah, no.
Yeah, just like loose change coming out of you.
Oh.
No, I hope my mouth isn't being fucked by homeless vagabonds.
The homeless are the last subclass of people that we can still mock freely. You notice that? Because they don't have any groups. Not really. And they're certainly not listening to this fucking show. Because they don't, they're poor and they don't have electricity even, much less an internet connection to connect and watch
What's
this.
the right fix for the homeless? I've proposed like battle arenas and things that'll actually drive up revenue for the state, get better roads, better schools.
Cut down on the number of homeless.
That's a happy coincidence of
fight
my
to the death
fight to the death thing. But what can you really do with these people other than give them a ticket to California?
I'm in California. I think we're good on homeless. We got a lot of them.
Yeah, you guys have more than like the rest of us combined. That's why just add it to the pile. Just
California.
I don't know. I think no
has lots of homeless.
Yeah. California.
Expensive housing.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I think you just do temporary housing. You got to do more temporary housing. There's a group I support called LA Family Housing that helps build temporary housing for the homeless peoples. Mayor Garcetti's trying to right now build some new temporary housings that then will help them find permanent housing. LA Family Housing actually finds permanent housing for homeless people, and it helps them break the cycle of homelessness by giving them job training services. It can't just be a home. You got to give them job training services. You got to help them get back on their feet. Otherwise, we're just going to end up repeating it.
No.
I feel like you got to differentiate too between the different kinds of homeless, because like the truly crazy homeless, you can't give that guy a Subway bread knife. He's going to murder his, 17-year-old manager on an angry day when they run out of sweet onion chicken teriyaki and the fat guy at the other side of the counter won't take it. So you need to maybe put them in a mental institution. We can rebuild those that Reagan tore down and ruined back in the late 80s.
It's true.
But the regular homeless, which I think is a smaller group that like are able to get their shit together.
Just down on the luck.
We should do something. What kind of jobs like would they be good at?
There's a lot of voluntary homeless, right? Van life. Hashtag van life, baby. We're doing
there
this.
Are some the voluntary homeless get no help. If you're voluntarily homeless,
right. Agreed. But I think it's actually the opposite. I think actually I was talking to someone recently about this. There's much more homeless people that are the normal, mentally stable ones, but the ones that get all the FaceTime are the ones that are coming up to you with a coin, with a coin cup and being like, "Hey, come on, give me." And that's what the face of homelessness becomes. And then they take that money and they use it to have a key made to your door and come in and fuck your mouth when you're sleeping. So
that's what they do.
Fool me once, shame on me. Get your mouth fucked in your sleep 2 to 4 times. Shame on me.
You're
for giving out copies of my key.
Yeah, I think we want to set that thing up.
just skipping it. Yeah,
I think we want to draft the homeless, draft the homeless, and create this crack squad of shock troops that we use just willy-nilly. Like this isn't one of those things where we need congressional approval or even the president has to sign off. Like we can parachute these things in anywhere on the globe within 18 hours, right? We can have a whole mess of hammer murdering, street living, cup shaking hobos just dropping right into Pakistan. Just they got no ID. They don't have any identities. We couldn't find their identity if they were still here. The Pakistanis are never going to know where it came from.
Kyle, they don't even need to be murderers. I think they could just be a drain on their economy instead. right?
Let's
We're
be honest
playing
with
the
ourselves.
long game here. Let Pakistan come up with temporary housing for them, right? Drop them in all these other countries that are bragging about their healthcare. Healthcare these motherfuckers, huh?
Well, you guys know for a fact, though, whether you support Trump or not, you know if Trump heard that idea right now, he would literally go, not a bad idea, not a bad idea.
Nah.
Don't hate it.
These guys are
Don't
good.
hate it. You
These
take
guys
the
are good.
homeless, you make them into a super troop. It makes
Move
a lot
over
of sense.
Fox and
We're gonna
friends.
call
Here
them-
come the
we're
Rape
gonna
Squad
call them-
killers.
Easy to do.
We're gonna call them SEAL Team Shakes because they all get a handle of vodka after they're done with the mission. Stave off those shakes. They're not the most accurate battalion, but goddamn, they'll die for anything I say.
I don't think it's a bad idea, right? Like we don't want them, we don't need them. We could put them to use, right? Like give them
Let's
a fucking
send them
machine
to
gun.
Mexico.
Oh shit!
These are terrible ideas. For the record, these are very terrible ideas. These are
We make
shitty-
them guard the border, and for every person trying to sneak in that they catch, they get like a cheap little like $7 plastic 7-Eleven a bottle of vodka. Imagine the money we'll save. I'm writing this down.
That's the idea. I think
It'd be
that's
just
the
like
winning
collecting
idea.
recyclables, right? They just
Instead
go and
of-
round up all the
Yes.
Mexicans and hand them over to border security and get like
And-
$7 a
And they
pop.
take all the empty vodka bottles, give them to homeless people in like Michigan. They trade it in for 10 cents a pop, and you're solving homelessness in 2 areas now.
Instead of a wall, you just build a long, thin hobo village that goes all the way across the southern border.
Oh, this place looks even worse than Mexico.
Exactly.
Let's go
They
back.
show up.
Yeah,
They show up, and
they see the shanty town and leave.
the coyotes like over there is the United States of America, the land of prosperity and freedom, and they're like, as they wipe the dirt and sweat from their dirty eyes. Oh, he looks terrible. That man is shitting in his front yard.
Y'all appear to be
Great.
drunk.
They-
Yeah.
I mean, that
And you
last
put a big
idea is
sign
not
that
the
says
worst.
Dallas up there so that they're fooled. Like, no, it said Dallas right there. No, we made it. It's just terrible.
Oh,
Like-
God, it's Dallas, the big shanty town.
Yeah.
That might work actually because everybody knows you can't fake signs. So I think that could work.
They don't
See,
have
they-
sign-
but
they
see,
can
the problem
technology there.
They wouldn't expect it. It's so stupid and insipid that it might work. And I think that it's much cheaper than a wall. Before we build a big expensive wall, let's give this homeless, solution a go. We've got plenty of homeless to span the whole wall, right? Probably
That
not.
idea I really don't even hate. I don't hate that idea. The only problem is shifting, getting them there. The travel expenses is what I'm mostly concerned about. But
Mexico's going to pay for it. Trust me.
oh, that's a strong
If
point.
we
I'd
can
rather pay
bus
for
them
that
to
than a
the
wall.
polls, we can bus them to the border, right? Maybe we'll just while they're on the polls, on election day, we take them, make them vote, and then we line them up on the border.
How much worse do you
Loving
think
it.
the country would be if you literally just for a year on a lark replaced all of Congress, both houses, with just random homeless people? I don't think it would be much worse.
It would be fine. That's what's
They would get
hilarious.
more
It's like,
done. They would get more done.
yeah.
Or they could do nothing. I don't
Yeah.
think they wouldn't impact my day-to-day life at all.
No,
Still
like every
good
time they're
luck. How
like,
do you
we're
like
gonna
that?
shut down the federal government, and then like they plan it up like this. They're gonna shut down the federal government, and then like when they end up doing it, you're like, huh? Well, going to work, yeah, like
Yep,
everything's
nothing
the same.
changed.
Yeah, like that. I bet with those homeless, what would their first resolution be? Do you
Would the
think?
senator from Missouri please stop pissing in the aisle? We have
Yeah,
a
if I
resolution.
hammer him to death, he can't vote. Like it's like, oh, that's a good way. He's our whip. He's our party whip. Yeah. Piece of shit.
I mean, you've already.
We have a joke because I live in St. Louis and there's been a string of hammer-related murders here for the last year or so, like people being hammered to death. Like a homeless guy broke
Sure.
into an abandoned school and hammered a few other homeless gentlemen to death.
Sure.
And so, I'm wary when I'm walking by Ace Hardware. I don't know which one of those miscreants has a bandsaw.
I would call him MC Hammer because that guy's got the skills. I mean, he's the master of ceremonies of hammering, hands down.
He actually, he is. Yeah. He's in jail now. God rest him. But,
Hammer time.
Too legit to quit.
Do you guys have the death penalty?
Do we what?
Taylor, do you guys have the death penalty? He's in
in
jail.
Missouri?
He's a hammer
Oh.
murderer. He seems eligible.
Yeah, we've got the death penalty. Yeah.
Oh,
I
bragging
don't
over
think
there
he
like
will.
you're Texas.
oh no, like I'm just saying, like we're all in the same region we're in the death penalty region of the country.
The
where all
Bible Belt.
Yes, the Bible Belt. the Bible was very clear on, murdering people at the hand of the state. You see what I'm saying? I'm a party of small government. That's why I like allowing the state the right to kill people. It's like that's what makes no fucking sense to me. 'Cause I'm pretty conservative, but like that makes no sense to me when it's like people who are like hard line death penalty people. It's like, who really cares that much? Like, just lock them up forever. And if it turns out that someone didn't do it and you accidentally murder them, you don't accidentally murder someone who was innocent. So it seems like an easy problem to solve.
So here's a list of all the Missouri death row inmates currently, and if you click on them, they give you a whole story. It's got his image there, all the case facts. Here's case facts. Here's Elroy Preston, who had been living temporarily with his brother Irvin. Looks like Irvin was a paraplegic confined to a wheelchair, and Pee Wee Richardson and Betty Klein lived together upstairs. All were present in the quarters for the evening of heavy drinking. During the course of the night, frequent alcohol-related verbal disputes were exchanged between the three men over petty issues, including who was to sleep where, and where some chicken, which had been purchased, was to be shared with Pee Wee Richardson. Pee Wee and Betty eventually went upstairs to bed, with Elroy Preston from time to time interrupting their slumber with trips to their room. Angry for a continuing assortment of reasons, Preston made a final trip upstairs and ordered Pee Wee and Betty to come back downstairs in the presence of Irwin and Sherry Brown. His girlfriend, Preston, announced to Pee Wee and Betty that he would kill them just as soon as he removed his clothes. The idea behind the clothes removal was to keep splattered blood off of them. True to his word.
Someone's seen Dexter. Yeah.
True to his word, Preston removed his clothes and proceeded to stab and critically wound them with a hunting knife.
Yeah, when somebody warns you they're going to kill you, maybe at that point during the disrobing, take off. I think that's the move.
This guy apparently trained under
Team Ben with this one.
Then with a single swipe of the knife, he severed Betty's spinal cord at the neck, killing her instantly.
Yeah,
guys,
he got a lot of power behind that
He's
slice.
pretty good at killing.
Guys, on this note, this is the time that I have to actually bounce for this event I have to go to. It seems like the perfect time.
You're heading toward OJ territory.
Yeah, I think it's a great time. I think it's nice for us to reflect on the current status of St. Louis death row inmates and just think about what they've done and what we've done to deserve them in our society.